Hi, this is Dr. George of Catch Fire Coaching, and what we're going to go over is how you best set up a cold laser for you and your staff. Now, I'm in sweats today, kind of a cold day out, and if you're going to work with patients, I don't think you always need to be dressed up, and certainly they don't, so I'm playing like the patient here. This is a quantum. It doesn't matter if it's an zirconia, microlight, or whatever it is, 4-channel diode here. So I'm just going to turn it on. The battery's strong enough, we'll turn it on here. Boom, there it goes. Okay, now if you notice, I am not wearing goggles. You should. You should, because you want the patient to know that you got safety first, and that it's an important thing to wear the goggles. So you should wear them, and so should they. Is it going to hurt them? Probably not. It's going to cause any damage if you don't shine it in their eyes? Probably not. But because of the power we know of lasers in the class 4 range, it's probably best that you do, even though these are class 2 and class 3Bs and different types of lasers that usually won't hurt their eyes if they're not even looking at it, or if they briefly look at it. So that's an important thing to know. But I would go ahead and wear them and have them wear them. And also let them know the power of it and the strength of it in terms of marketing. The frenulum. The frenulum is your lip right here. You can just put the laser right underneath the nose, or almost right on the nose, for usually about 1 minute, at least 30 seconds to 1 minute. And this is really good for helping with pain. Anytime you're treating patients with pain, I would always do the frenulum. And again, I don't know what type of laser you have, so I'm not going to get real specific on that. But I would definitely treat the frenulum for pain anywhere in the body. Another spot would be the liver, right on the right side, part of the rib area, underneath the ribs, in between the ribs. I would definitely treat right on that. Now again, usually you don't have to touch that area with the laser, depending on the type of laser. I mean, if it's a Thor laser, a lot of times you would touch if it's wound healing, but in this case you don't usually touch. You get far enough back so you can cover that area. This is a diode, so it's round, so I usually have to get further back and paint a little bit, go up and down so I cover the area to get adequate coverage. If it's like a line or horizontal, like an zirconia, then I may not have to paint as much. But usually to cover the whole area, you'll have to move it a little bit. And that will cover the liver. 1 minute's enough. 1 minute's enough. We want to stimulate the liver, increase metabolic processes, increase the healing, but not have them detox so fast they get sick. I know recently I've watched my dad get sick from detoxing so quick from some of his chemo treatments and things like that. That's not what we want. We want to just speed it up, so don't go for 5 or 10 minutes. 1 minute's enough. So frenulum is very important. Liver is very important to all types of treatment in the body to help a patient get well. Now another thing, if you want to stimulate their body, again, just stimulate it, 15 seconds on a cortex on each side. That's it. No more, just 15 seconds. Be like a double latte, but no more than that. Don't go back here on the medulla and the cerebellum in that area. It'll mess them up if you do. Just go on the 2 cortexes, it would usually be fine. If you're using the Hori cycle and acupuncture points and things for speeding up their body and helping with their allergies, then certainly on top of the head at the crown and the cortex would be good as well. If you're versed in acupuncture, then certainly lasers are awesome to use with acupuncture points, like the Ashi, between the web, and the Hori cycle for jet lag and different types of allergies, also awesome. But just for a quick education on the laser, I would definitely use those 2 points. Definitely then go to the area of complaint. Depending on the severity of the area of complaint, usually anywhere from 2 or 3 minutes to maybe 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how severe. If it's a mild strain or something like that, you might want 3 or 4 minutes. If it's a past back surgery that's now healed up, it might take 10, and then to stretch out the hamstring could take 10 minutes. Realize a lot of times with the laser, what we're doing is speeding up the body's healing processes, which means working on other parts of the body other than what's damaged. Let me give you an example. If I have a 3rd-degree burn, I'm not going to laser it very much. I mean, I might 5 seconds, 15 seconds, very briefly, to get the macrophages and everything maybe working a little faster. But I will work a lot on the frenulum, and I will work a lot with the liver. I will work a lot on the lymphatic systems and various things to speed up the body's healing process to really help that burn go away and heal faster. Does that make sense? So it's not always about where the symptom is or where the complaint is that you spend a lot of time with the laser. In fact, if you do, you'll mess them up. They'll be worse. It's about speeding up the other processes, much like cancer. Cancer is a symptom of the real problem in the body. So what does medicine do? They attack the cancer. Cool. But really, we need to be speeding up the rest of the body and making it stronger, giving it more energy, making it more powerful, to fight future cancer and to get that cancer to stay gone and to stay truly healthy. Because that's why it was able to grow in the first place, is because the body wasn't healthy. Same thing with the laser. Same thing with whatever the pain is. Same thing with whatever's going on. You're working as a whole. So if you're a chiropractor, the laser is nothing but a tool to go along with your chiropractic adjustments, your lead checks, the Pro Adjuster, whatever you're doing, you tie it all in together and it's a tool. Now, it's probably one of the best tools in the toolbox you'll have in terms of getting rid of pain, helping your body to heal. In fact, I have my own here at the house. There's nothing more important in my mind than having yourself a cold laser and working with the frenulum in these different areas. Notice I'm holding it too. I do have a laser stand over here that I'm going to bring into the view. So I'm going to put this down and be right back and bring in the laser stand. Now, the laser stand can be almost anything. I've seen people use music stands as a great laser stand for 35 bucks. This one costs a few $100s. It's got wheels and rollers and spreads out and has a place for lasers to sit, has a movable arm where you can tie in the cords and move things around, you know, and we have a little handkerchief here to help tie it on so we can put it right on the body, all kinds of different things. But by having a laser stand, you're able to put the stand in there, have it hold in that area for a few minutes or on part of their body. It kind of gives you an extra hand. You're not leaving the patient at all, but you're able to have an extra hand to help you do what you need to do a little quicker, a little faster, a little easier. And I find it very beneficial. Whether it's a music stand for 35 bucks that you put together yourself, that's one awesome way, or one that you buy actually from one of the manufacturers that maybe does a little bit more but a lot more expensive. I think it's very important to have a laser stand. Hence, I have one at the home because it's a whole lot easier for me to help patients and folks that might need it here at the house. So have yourself a laser stand, to me, is invaluable because really you only have so much time, and what you're doing in your practice involves a lot of time. Keep your laser charged. I do think having it fully charged makes a difference in power. And of course, if your laser has frequencies, be sure and learn those frequencies and get a frequency code book so that you can know the right frequencies, which do make a difference a lot of times in the healing as well. So work on those basic areas to start out with and to help your staff start out with. And then on the next video, we'll work on how do you best market the cold laser, how do you best market it as a tool to help people get well, how you best get FTC-approved testimonials that just went into place, how you best let patients know when they're doing better. Like one example, if I'm working on a bad shoulder here, you know, they need to know it's bad, right? They know it hurts, but it doesn't always hurt. So they move it around and go, oh yeah, doc, you know, you're raising it up. Can't go any higher than that, can't go any higher than that. Bad deal. All the tests are positive. Do the laser, do the frenulum, do the liver, do the trapezius, do some other points, do the nerve roots in the lower part of the neck that all affect a bad shoulder, and watch how much better in 5 or 10 minutes, 15 minutes the shoulder does, and how much better it feels for them. They'll be amazed. They can tell it works. Now the key is you'll say, yeah, but how do we know it lasts? Well, that's why they got to do multiple treatments, 6 to 15 treatments typically. They must do the multiple treatments. And then in my experience in a shoulder, if it doesn't completely get better after you've done exams and x-rays and everything looks fine, like it should accept lasers, but it doesn't stay gone more than, you know, a week or 2 or 3 weeks, it's always coming back and they're not playing tennis or aggravating it, then probably they did drugs at some point in their life. They probably did some sort of high-powered medications or drugs that has eaten up their shoulder, and they simply can't get it back without shoulder surgery. But in most cases, 90%, it's going to come back. It's going to come back better than ever. They're going to do great unless they have a herniated disc. They're playing tennis every day, and it's just flat out wore out. They've done medications and things like that in the past. And even in those cases, it'll feel a ton better, and will certainly move better. It just may not last. But assuming that they're healthy, then you'll be able to bring them in full range of motion and get them completely back. And then obviously do a low-level cervical adjustment as well. Clear those out to keep it strong. You get the 9 ligaments to better hold and be stable in that area, and they'll have a great shoulder. I'm so convinced of this. I've even done this at speaking gigs where not anybody was a chiropractic patient, didn't know who they were. I didn't adjust them, but I worked with their shoulder and made a difference right there on the spot because it works every time like a charm. Just do this with your patients, whether it be their neck, their shoulder, their ankle, their knee, whatever it is, work with them. Someone will ask me, well, what do you charge? I'm not into the insurance game. I think you're worth what you get paid truly. And in my experience, typically in the laser, anywhere from 35 to 60 to even 75 per treatment is what people are willing to pay for 10 or so treatments if you know what you're doing and you have faith, confidence, and belief as Parker would say, in your product, services, and ID.